Donald Trump's strategy for beating Joe Biden in both 2020 and 2024 was to peel away Black and Hispanic voters. But surprise, Biden's not the candidate anymore. And all of Trump's hard work has gone to waste, as both Hispanic and Black voters have flocked to Kamala Harris. And now, to make matters worse, the bedrock of Trump's voting bloc is now falling away as well. There is a rising and discernible movement to detach Christian evangelicals away from Trump, who is the most irreligious president in the history of this country, and redirect them to Kamala Harris. Trump is already losing ground with white male voters, which is troubling enough, but losing evangelicals as well is going to put red states in play, which would be a disaster for both Trump and the Republican Party. Check out what Texas legislator James Tallarico had to say about Christian nationalism in his church.
I'm a Christian, but I know the most dangerous form of government is theocracy. Because the only thing worse than a tyrant is a tyrant who thinks they're on a mission from God. Yeah. My faith in Jesus leads me to reject Christian nationalism and commit myself to the project of a multiracial, multicultural democracy where we can all freely love God and fully love our neighbors. Jesus is far more radical than any political ideology or political candidate. If our Christianity is not unsettling us, then we're doing it wrong. But too many Christians are putting their politics ahead of their faith. Too many Christians are baptizing their partisanship and calling it Christianity. Faith is not about right versus left. It's about right versus wrong. Religion should never be partisan, but religion is, by definition, always political. The Roman Empire didn't crucify Jesus for being a nice guy. Crucifixion was the punishment for rebels. Jesus challenged the political, economic, religious powers that be. He provoked a direct conflict with the ruling class, with the rich and the powerful, with the men who think they're gods. Jesus took on the system.
Tallarico is not a lone voice in the wilderness. MSNBC just recently published a piece by Doug Padgett, executive director of Vote Common Good, who wrote that, on the trail in 2020, 2022, and this year, I've gleaned the reason many evangelical and Christian voters ultimately leave Trump: his obvious lack of kindness. A poll that my organization, Vote Common Good, commissioned in 2020 showed that in swing states, Trump's lack of kindness was driving evangelical and Catholic voters away in large enough numbers to potentially affect the outcome of the election. Padgett is not alone. Joy Reid talked about this evangelical move away from Trump on her show and raised the same point.
Rev, I want to get you in on this too, because I had to say the thing about, like, people don't understand what an evangelical Christian is. Again, lots of Christian pastors who a lot of Democrats who watch this network and liberals like are evangelical. You know, I would consider you Kojic, brother, you're evangelical. So it's like people have decided evangelical equals hateful, mean, and hate immigrants. No, evangelicals actually love immigrants. They actually believe in Jesus' red letters where he said you have to support the immigrant, the aged, the widow, the orphan. That is also evangelicalism. What do you make of Christians now standing up proudly and saying, we want the kinder candidates?
Well, I think when you look at the fact that evangelicals live by Jesus talking about the Good Samaritan who stopped and helped somebody of a different race and a different situation and helped him. How do you preach the Good Samaritan and then call people that are migrant out of their name, or say that people that are leading anti-Semitic marches in Charlottesville are people that are good people on both sides? So it's really incongruous to preach one thing on Sunday and then advocate politically divisiveness and other than me, I'm going to be against on Monday.
What Padgett makes clear, however, is that evangelicals are not just going to magically come over to the Democratic ticket. He writes, It will take an effort like the one we made in Kent County, Michigan. We held voter rallies and roundtables, put up billboards juxtaposing the words of Jesus with those of Trump, sent thousands of postcards to evangelical voters, and trained multiple local Democratic candidates on how to engage with faith voters. Our message was simple: Trump lacks kindness, and it's okay not to vote Republican. Trump beat Clinton by 3 points in Kent County in 2016. In 2020, he lost to Biden there by 6 points, a 9-point swing. Padgett concludes by arguing, if we come together and don't leave these folks to Trump, I think it's possible for Harris to receive the highest level of evangelical support since Jimmy Carter. That means putting in the work and the dollars to move evangelicals to the Democratic ticket. If we can turn some red states blue, then it's totally worth it. We need more than having Harris win the presidency. We need a blue tsunami, and for that, the evangelical vote holds the keys to the kingdom. I'm Anthony Vincent Gallo for Occupy Democrats.